With the Russian invasion of Ukraine reaching its fifth day on Monday, the International Olympic Committee asked international sports federations and event organizers to not invite or allow the participation of Russian or Belarusian athletes and officials in international competitions. To understand the significance of the decision, I have with me Michael Payne. Michael has been at the forefront of the sports marketing industry for over 3 decades now, and he was the first IOC marketing and broadcast rights director. He currently has his own consultancy, Payne Sports Media Strategies, and is the author of the book Olympic Turnaround. Michael, welcome to News 9. This is Amit Kamath. Thank you so much for taking the time out and doing this. We are hearing a lot of these views about the decision that the IOC has taken, while Ukrainian athletes and some critics have said that the IOC should have also banned the Russian Olympic Committee. Others are saying that this decision is unprecedented. So I wanted to understand from you, as somebody who has seen the inner workings of the IOC for so many decades, what is the significance of this move from the IOC?
I think you're right when you say it is unprecedented. I think you probably actually have to go back to the 1960s when the IOC banned South Africa for its apartheid policies to find anything similar. I think the move to strongly recommend to all international federations, all event organizers, not to permit Russian or Belarusian athletes to compete is as strong a move as the IOC can take. Actually banning or suspending the National Olympic Committee wouldn't have any impact on that, because the next time the Olympic Committee will come into force and compete will be in Paris in 2024. What matters is all the other events, and we've seen an hour ago the decision by FIFA and UEFA to suspend the Russian team from the World Cup qualification and all other tournaments. I think it was the IOC's move that prompted FIFA and will prompt all of the other international federations to follow, because it's the federation's decision, not the IOC's decision, as to whether the Russian athletes can compete in international competition.
Right. I think I saw that you called it some of the strongest sanctions ever seen from the IOC. Can you tell me the difference between sporting sanctions as opposed to economic sanctions that a lot of countries have also put on Russia?
Yes, I think that's a very interesting issue. There has been a unprecedented set of economic sanctions placed by governments around the world on Russia, but those economic sanctions, many of them will actually take time to sort of filter through and have a real impact. The decision by the sports movement to say no events in Russia, Russian teams cannot compete, that will be immediately seen by the Russian people. And no matter what propaganda may be, what media may be presented in Russia, it will prompt immediate questions. The Russians as a nation are incredibly passionate about their sport. Their president is very passionate about his sport. And to suddenly have that taken away will have an immediate effect of people saying, what's happening? You can't necessarily cover it up quite so simply through media management when the Champions League doesn't take place in St. Petersburg, when all the other events that everybody's been planning for, from the Formula One to volleyball, that they're all suddenly withdrawn. And then, where is the Russian team? Where are the Russian athletes competing?
Sure.
I think the sporting sanctions have the potential to bring the message home immediately to the Russian people. That the world will not accept or tolerate this move on Ukraine.
Great. I saw that the IOC has also withdrawn the Olympic order that it had bestowed upon Vladimir Putin. How do you see that? Is that an empty gesture, as some are saying it is, or does that really carry any meaning?
It's not an empty gesture at all. I mean, it's very symbolic. I don't believe the IOC has ever before withdrawn an Olympic order, and it's a further condemnation of Putin and the actions he's taking. Does he care? Maybe not. But when the Russian people see that even an organization that was viewed as being very close to Russia, and at times even with the doping scandal from Sochi, still very supportive of trying to ensure that Russian athletes can continue to compete, to see the IOC turn against Russia, I think sends a very strong message to everybody back in Russia.
I also wanted to understand, with all the protests that we are seeing by athletes themselves, I think we saw a bunch of fencers or Ukrainian fencers refuse to compete against their Russian counterparts. I wanted to understand, have the athletes kind of forced the IOC's hand here a little bit by, taking such a strong, making such a strong move?
I think the IOC was monitoring the events very carefully. They were moving very, very quickly. And the IOC would have recognized that this was the only solution that they could take. I mean, frankly, I thought it was even stronger than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe a complete ban on any form of Russian symbolism, so no Russian Olympic Committee, no Russian flag or anthem, and that all the athletes had to compete as independent or neutral. The step to ban the athletes, frankly, is a red line that the IOC until now has always tried to avoid, because they felt that individual athletes should not be penalized by the actions of their government or leadership. I think the worldwide reaction and consensus, there was an expectation that the sports movement, who has a tremendous amount of influence on the people, because the people, Russian people and everybody else cares so much about sport, it was a way to make an immediate statement to say enough is enough.
Right. Just one last thing. I wanted to understand, how do you see this playing out over the next few weeks or even next few months?
Amit, sorry, I've lost you there.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. I just wanted to understand. I just wanted to understand, how do you see this playing over the next few weeks or the next few months from now?
Well, I think the sports world has taken probably pretty well all the measures that are at their disposal, and I think then the sports world will wait and see how the politics and everything plays out, and hopefully some form of peace can be achieved quickly. And once that is settled, we'll decide when is the international community ready to accept Russian athletes competing again. But I think for the leaders, for the officials, the Belarusian president and general director of the Olympic Committee, they'd already been banned from participating or supporting any event because of previous issues before the Ukraine invasion. So I think the sports world now, having taken these very substantial measures and sanctions, we'll wait to see then how quickly calm can be returned on the political front.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time out and talking to us, Mr. Payne.
My pleasure. Thanks for reaching out, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you so much.